Good morning, class. Today we have birds, winged and feathered animals. This book was written by Suzanne Slade and illustrated by Kristen Kess. I'm going to lower my blinds here so that you see the book a little bit better. Maybe. Let me try it with the blinds. That might be good. Okay. Here we go. Birds, winged and feathered animals. Here we have a table of contents. You guys will remember the table of contents is a nonfiction text feature which allows you to quickly see some of the main topics that are in a book and also know where to go in the book to find those. And that's usually right at the beginning of a nonfiction book. A world full of animals. Millions of animals live on our planet. Scientists classify animals or group them together by looking at how the animals are alike or different. 6 of the more familiar main groups of animals living on Earth are mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, fish, and insects. Let's take a closer look at birds. Feathers and wings. All birds have feathers and wings. Feathers protect birds' skin from the sun and keep birds warm during winter. Feathers are also lightweight and help birds fly. Most birds have strong wings and can fly fast and far. Many travel hundreds of miles each year when they migrate to new places. Migrate is a word that means to travel from one spot to a different place at a certain time of the year. Bones and blood. Every bird has a skeleton made of a backbone and other small bones inside its body. Animals with backbones are called vertebrates. Many bird bones have spaces of air in them. These light bones allow birds to fly better. Hold this up so you can see. This is another nonfiction text feature called a close-up. And you can see the lines trace back to the diagram showing the bird's the bone in its wing. And then the close-up shows you what that bone would look like if you could cut it in half and see the inside of it. And you can notice all of the little air pockets. That makes their bones incredibly light, which you can imagine would be super helpful for flying. Birds have hearts with 4 chambers or large spaces. So a chamber is a word that means a space. They are also warm-blooded animals. That means their body temperatures almost always stay the same. Beginning as an egg. A bird's life begins inside an egg covered with a hard shell. Most female birds lay their eggs in nests. A parent bird often sits on the eggs to keep them safe and warm until the young birds hatch. Parent birds bring food to their young until the young are old enough to leave the nest. Birds can fly a few weeks after hatching. And this whole page, the name of this bird is the barn swallow. Home sweet home. Birds live in different habitats all around the world. Many birds, such as colorful macaws and parrots, live in warm, sunny places. The hot, dry desert is home to the singing cactus wren. That sounded funny. So sometimes when we're reading, we'll read something and the way that we phrase it won't sound just right. And so when that happens, I always go back and reread it, because if I don't and I continue reading, my understanding is gonna could be missing an important part. So let's go back and let me retry that. The hot, dry desert is home to the singing cactus wren. Large roadrunners also love to sprint across the desert sand at speeds of about 17 miles per hour. So up top, you can see all of the illustrations in this book, they're labeled. So we have the cactus wren here, and down below, you can see the roadrunner. Perching and water birds. Robins, cardinals, and other perching birds live in woodlands and gardens. These birds have 4 strong toes that grip branches tightly. A perching bird does not fall off a branch when it sleeps, because its toes keep squeezing as it snoozes. Well, that's a lucky feature. Robin and the cardinals. Water birds live near lakes, rivers, and oceans. Most are graceful swimmers, as well as strong flyers. Ducks, swans, and geese use their webbed feet to paddle in the water. Storks, flamingos have long, stick-like legs. They wade in shallow water and search for food. Oh, there's the wood duck. Got the mallard duck and the flamingo. Hungry birds. Birds that hunt and kill other animals for food are called predators. Eagles, that's us, and owls are predators. They have good eyesight and sharp claws to catch their prey. Vultures and other scavenger birds eat dead animals. Scavengers use their sense of smell to find food. Many birds, such as peacocks and chickens, eat seeds and fruit. Some birds dine on insects and worms. Flightless birds. All birds have wings, but not all birds can fly. Flightless birds have other ways of getting around. With their short legs, penguins waddle slowly across surfaces. In water, their wings work like flippers to help them swim fast. Here we have some emperor penguins. Ostriches and emus have long, strong legs for running. An ostrich can run as fast as 43 miles per hour. Strange birds. Swifts spend most of their lives in the air. They eat, mate, and even sleep while flying. That is something I have never heard before. A bird that can sleep while it flies. That's new learning for me. Bee eaters have an unusual diet. They often munch on bees and wasps. Hummingbirds are amazing flyers. They can hover in one place and fly backward. At the back of this book, we have an interesting nonfiction text feature. This is called a chart, and the title of this chart is Scientific Classification Chart. We can see the different kingdom of birds. This is the way that we classify animals, like kingdom, island, class, order, family, genus, and species. So every bird you see, you can think it belongs to a certain kingdom. It belongs to a certain class. And within that class, there are different families. And it gets narrower and narrower as you go down. So when we are talking about a species, we're actually talking about one specific type of animal within a larger category. I'm just going to hold this steady so that you can words. Also in this book, at the back, there's a couple other features that are interesting. We have extreme birds. So a little section on birds that, well, I'll just read you the categories. We have a section for the smallest bird, largest bird, fastest, longest wingspan, and the farthest traveler. Also a category for the longest feathered. And then this book offers a glossary, which again is a nonfiction text feature that helps us better understand what we're reading out of the book. And so the author has chosen what words to include in this glossary to best support us as the reader. And then this book also includes an index. And I always like to ask an index question for those careful listeners at the end of my video to see who's still there. Let's see. I wanted to learn more about eggs. What page might I go to? There might be more than one back there. I wanted to know about eggs. What can I look? You can send that to me on Seesaw. All right, kids, that concludes our book for today. I hope you enjoyed birds, winged and feathered animals. This week, I'm excited that you're all doing a number of things around the topic of birds. One thing I hope you will do that is not listed as a Seesaw assignment, but you could just be doing, is keeping an eye out for interesting birds wherever you are. That would be fun in our Zoom sessions to get a report. Maybe where you live, there are certain birds that the rest of us don't see at where we live. So that might be something that you could think about. And our next Zoom session is tomorrow on Wednesday at 12 o'clock. And I hope to see as many of you there as possible. All right, bye for now.